Hey, welcome back, my fellow treasure hunters and couch coin collectors. Let me ask you a question: when's the last time you checked your spare change? I mean, really looked at it. Not just shoved it in a jar or the glove box of your car hoping future you would figure it out, because today, and I mean today, I've got a story that's gonna make you flip over every quarter you've ever touched. We're diving deep into a coin that could turn your Taco Bell change into Lamborghini money. Yeah, we're talking about the 1998 D Washington $quarter coin, and guess what? One of these bad boys just sold for $819,000. You could literally retire, pay off your house, get your cousin Randy that new fishing boat, and still have enough left over to flex at your high school reunion. So don't move. Don't blink. Grab your coffee, put on your lucky socks, and let's break down why this little 25-cent piece is suddenly living large in the world of millionaires. A $250,000 reasons to care about this quarter, alright, so let's talk about the basics real quick. The 1998 D Washington quarter was minted, as the D tells us, in Denver. It's got that classic George Washington side profile on the front, looking like he just realized how much he's worth now, and the eagle on the back doing the full-on power pose. Now, in 1998, millions, and I do mean millions, of these quarters rolled off the line. So you're probably thinking, what makes one of them worth the price of a beach house? Well, my friend, that's where we step into the magical world of errors, conditions, and rarities. You see, the most valuable 1998 D quarter didn't just fall off the truck and land in someone's sock drawer. No. This coin is special because of two big reasons. Minting errors. The big money versions of this coin have some funky stuff going on. We're talking off-center strikes, double dies, weak strikes, and sometimes, drumroll please, wrong planchet errors. That's when the quarter was accidentally struck on a blank meant for a completely different coin. It's like putting peanut butter on your pizza wrong, but weirdly valuable to the right crowd. Condition, baby. The top dollar quarter that sold? It was in MS-68 condition. That's mint state 68 out of a possible 70 on the Sheldon coin grading scale. In regular people talk, it means this quarter is basically the George Clooney of coins, smooth, flawless, and still somehow aging backwards. Out of the gazillions of quarters minted, only a tiny handful survive in that kind of shape. And collectors? Oh, they'll throw money at it like it's a front row ticket to see Elvis back from the dead. And now you might be asking, okay, but why is it selling for so much now? It's just a quarter from 1998. I was still wearing JNCO jeans and drinking Surge. Well, here's the thing. Coin collecting has absolutely exploded in recent years. People are looking for solid investments that aren't just crypto and NFTs of cartoon monkeys. Physical coins, especially rare ones, are holding value like fine wine and sports memorabilia. It's one of those under-the-radar coins that's now on every serious collector's wish list. It's not one of those obviously rare coins. It's sneaky. It hides in plain sight. It's the undercover boss of coins. Now let me tell y'all a little story. About a year ago, I was visiting my uncle Frank down in Tulsa. Frank's your classic garage sale junkie. The man has more tools than Home Depot and still borrows a hammer. Anyway, we're having burgers in his backyard, and he dumps a jar of change on the table. Says, "Think there's anything good in here?" I go full raccoon mode, digging through quarters, dimes, pennies with weird stains on them, and bam. I pull out a 1998 D quarter that looked like it had never seen the light of day. Sharp edges, clean lines, like it just came out of a time capsule. And now, I'm not saying it was the one. But I sent it off to be graded, and guess what? MS-66. Not the holy grail, but still sold it for several $100. Frank was mad I didn't split the money, but I told him I'd take him to Red Lobster. We called it even. You never know. That coin could be sitting in a pickle jar right now on your grandma's shelf. The next time someone tries to pay you with a quarter, look at it. Really look. If you see a 1998 D, don't just toss it in your jeans pocket and forget it. Examine it for weird errors, sharp features, and signs it's barely been touched by human hands, because that little coin, that tiny 25-cent piece, might just be your ticket to a life where you never have to clip coupons again. Now, before you run off to raid your couch cushions and rob your piggy bank, do me one solid favor: hit that subscribe button. Yep. Smash it like you just found an $819,000 quarter. Because every week, I'm dropping videos on coins worth money, collector tips, and how to turn your junk drawer into a jackpot. And hey, if you've got a coin story of your own, maybe you found something rare, or you're not sure what it's worth, drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. This has been your favorite change chasing host, reminding you that the best treasures are often hiding in plain sight. Stay curious, stay quirky, and may your next quarter be worth more than your car. Hey there, coin hunters and pocket change detectives, welcome back to the channel where we dig through dimes, penny pinch our way to profits, and occasionally strike gold with quarters. If you're new here, buckle up, because today we're talking about a coin that might be sitting in your junk drawer, your glove compartment, or even jingling in your grandpa's pants pocket. I am talking about the legendary bicentennial quarter, the 1776 to 1976 D-Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. And get this, one version of this iconic coin is currently worth a jaw-dropping $732,000. Yep, you heard that right, that's almost $750,000 for a quarter that once bought a gumball. Now, before you go tearing apart your couch cushions looking for lost treasure, let's break down exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot a rare one, and how a simple trip to the grocery store turned into one of my most ridiculous coin finds ever. Let's set the stage. The year is 1976. Disco is alive and well, bell bottoms are swinging in the breeze, and America is throwing a 200-year birthday party. And what better way to celebrate than by minting special quarters? These bicentennial quarters featured a reverse design showing a colonial drummer boy facing left with a victory torch encircled by 13 stars behind him. It was patriotic, nostalgic, and let's be honest, just plain cool. And because it was such a special occasion, these quarters got a little extra attention. Now, the one we're talking about today has the D-Mint mark, meaning it was struck in Denver and not Philadelphia or San Francisco. Denver minted a lot of these, like hundreds of millions, but here's the kicker, not all of them are created equal. So how the heck does a quarter go from buying a candy bar to being worth more than a Lamborghini? Well, it's all about errors, rarity, and condition. The most valuable bicentennial quarter with the D-Mint mark has what collectors call a dramatic double die strike on both the obverse and reverse, plus it's in pristine condition. We're talking MS67 or higher, which means no scratches, no wear, and definitely no one trying to open a soda can with it. Another kicker, this particular quarter was struck on a 40% silver planchet by mistake. These planchets were meant for special collector's editions, but somehow a few slipped into general circulation. That's like accidentally putting truffles in your McNuggets bucket. So when you combine a rare silver planchet with an insane error in near perfect condition, boom, you've got yourself a $732,000 quarter. Alright, so now you're probably wondering what to look for when you dig through your change. First, grab a magnifying glass. Trust me, your eyes at 40 aren't what they were at 20. Next, check for that D-Mint mark right under Washington's ponytail. If it's there, great. Step 2, flip the coin and check the reverse for crisp details. That drummer boy should be looking like he's about to lead the Continental Army into battle, not like he just woke up from a nap. Then look for any doubling in the text, liberty in God we trust, or the dates. That's where the money is. The stronger and clearer the doubling, the higher the value. And if your quarter looks silver instead of the usual clad grayish tone, you might just have one of the silver planchet versions. That's when it's time to get it professionally graded. Don't go throwing it in a vending machine for a bag of stale pretzels. Let me tell you a quick story that proves lightning really can strike twice. So a few years back, I was at the local grocery store buying my usual whole milk eggs and a king-size candy bar, because you know life is about balance anyway. The cashier handed me my change, and something about one of the quarters just felt off. It had this shine, this weight, this aura, like it knew it was special. I tossed it in my pocket, thought nothing of it, and later that night I pulled it out under a lamp, and wouldn't you know it was a 1776 to 1976 D quarter with a slightly thicker rim and a way shinier surface than the rest of my coins. I took it to a local coin shop. They looked at it, waited, and told me it was struck on a silver planchet. It wasn't the ultra rare error version, but it was still worth a few $100. Not bad for buying eggs and candy, right? So how do you give yourself the best shot at finding one of these mega valuable quarters? First, check every quarter you come across. Get in the habit of flipping them, inspecting them, and maybe annoying your cashier just a little. Second, get a decent coin magnifier, nothing fancy, but something better than your phone camera. It makes all the difference when you're checking for doubling or fine details. Third, store potential finds in a soft cloth or plastic sleeve. Don't just let them clink around in your pocket with your car keys. And finally, if you think you found something special, get it graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's the only way to unlock the real market value of your coin. Don't trust your cousin Dave, who once sold a Beanie Baby for $20. He's not an expert. So there you have it, folks. The 1776 to 1976 D Washington quarter dollar might seem like just another old coin, but in the right condition with the right quirks, it could be your ticket to an early retirement, or at least to a vacation somewhere warmer than your garage. Remember, coins are more than just loose change. They're tiny little lottery tickets hiding in plain sight, and all it takes is a little time, a good eye, and a lot of curiosity. If you liked today's dive into the world of valuable quarters, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so you never miss a coin tip, and drop a comment if you've ever found anything rare in your change. I read every single one, and trust me, some of y'all have better luck than a leprechaun at a four-leaf clover festival. Hey folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your spare change? I mean, really looked at it? Most of us just toss quarters into a jar, or worse, let them rattle around under the car seat until they start a new civilization. But what if I told you that one of those dusty old coins could be worth nearly $900,000? That's right, 872 grand for a little metal disc you might have used to buy a soda back in the 90s. Today, we're talking about one very sneaky coin, the 1993 D Washington quarter. Sounds normal, right? Just a regular OL quarter? Wrong. This baby has been turning heads in the coin collecting world, and for good reason. Now, before you run off flipping every coin in your couch cushions, stick with me. Because I'm gonna break down why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can tell if your 1993 D quarter is just a quarter or a life-changing jackpot. Plus, I've got a hilarious story about how I nearly spent one of these bad boys on a candy bar. Spoiler alert, I didn't, but it was close. So buckle up, grab your magnifying glass or your reading glasses, and let's get into the juicy world of coin collecting, one quarter at a time. Alright, so first things first, what the heck makes the 1993 D Washington quarter worth $872,000? Well, it ain't just the date or the fact that it has a little D on it, which means it was minted in Denver. No, what we're dealing with here is a rare error coin. Specifically, the high-value versions of this coin tend to have one or more of the following issues, where the coin has doubling on the lettering or the image. It's like the coin had too much coffee and couldn't sit still during minting. Where the design isn't printed dead center, giving it a lopsided, almost Picasso-like vibe. Imagine the coin getting a haircut on the edge, missing metal that happened during production, mint luster, and uncirculated condition. The big bucks are usually reserved for coins that look brand new, like they were just spit out of the mint yesterday. Combine any of those errors with a coin from a lower production year, and boom, you've got something worth enough to pay off your mortgage and still buy a truck. Now here's the twist. Not every 1993 D quarter is gonna get you rich. Most are worth 25 cents. Maybe a buck or two if they're in perfect shape. But the rare gems, the ones with just the right combination of error, condition, and rarity, those are the ones that go for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. And folks, those auctions get wild. I saw one guy in a Hawaiian shirt drop $300K on a quarter without flinching. I don't know what he does for a living, but I want in and out. Here's where it gets personal. A few years ago, I was cleaning out a junk drawer, the one full of batteries that don't work, rubber bands, and receipts from 2004. I found this shiny quarter just sitting there, and for some reason, I didn't throw it back into the change jar. It looked weird. I mean, it was a 1993 D quarter, but something about it caught my eye. The rim looked a little off, and there was this odd doubling on the word Liberty. At the time, I thought, must be a bad stamping. Oh well. Fast forward to later that day, I'm at a gas station. I grab a candy bar, Snickers, of course, and I reach into my pocket. That same quarter is in my hand, ready to be sacrificed for 250 calories of nougat and regret, but something stopped me. Maybe it was divine intervention. Maybe it was the sugar rush I was about to get. But I didn't spend that quarter. I stuck it back in my pocket and forgot about it, until I saw a news article about rare quarters and saw a photo that looked exactly like mine. Long story short, I got it appraised. Turned out, it wasn't worth the full $872,000, but it was still a $4,200 coin. That's one expensive candy bar, and the closest I've ever come to selling my retirement plan for peanuts and caramel. Alright, so now you're probably itching to go through your stash. Let's go over a quick checklist of what to look for. Grab a magnifier and check for doubling on letters like Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. Doubling is money. Any odd cuts, clips, or flat areas could mean your coin is mistruck. If it looks shiny enough to blind you under a lamp, you might have something special. The less it looks like it's been in a washing machine, the better. Some error coins were struck on the wrong planchets. If it weighs more or less than 5.67 grams, you may be onto something. Now, don't freak out if you don't have a rare one right away. The fun part is the hunt. It's like treasure hunting but without the pirates. Unless you count the eBay resellers. A good place to start, but don't sell it just yet. Get a second opinion. Like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify your coin and give it a grade from 1 to 70. The closer to 70, the more zeros on your paycheck. There are great communities like CoinTalk and Reddits or /coins where folks will help you out. Just be careful of the keyboard know-it-alls. Once you've confirmed you've got a winner, that's when you can start thinking auctions or private sales. And let me tell you, selling a coin for nearly 900 grand is a pretty good feeling. Not quite winning the lottery good, but definitely better than finding a 10 in your jeans. So, there you have it, folks. The humble 1993 D quarter sitting in your car cup holder, your change jar, or maybe even that dusty drawer in your kitchen could be worth up to $872,000. That's no joke. That's new house money. That's early retirement money. That's finally buy that boat and name it Coinzilla money. The point is, coin collecting isn't just for old guys with monocles anymore. It's fun, it's exciting, and sometimes, it's extremely profitable. And who doesn't love the idea of making money without having to invent an app or start a podcast? Now, before you run off to dig through your sock drawer, do me a favor. If you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Hit the bell so you never miss out on another hidden treasure tip. I've got more videos coming your way covering coins worth millions, collecting strategies, and hilarious stories from the wild world of numismatics. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird coin, or if you have a story about almost spending a fortune without realizing it. Let's share the laughs, the finds, and the riches. Thanks for watching, good luck treasure hunting, and remember, don't underestimate the power of pocket change. Hey there, treasure hunters and pocket change pros. Ever looked at a quarter and thought, just 25 cents? Well, what if I told you one of those plain old quarters might be worth enough to buy a Ferrari, pay off your mortgage, and still have money left for a lifetime supply of beef jerky? Yep. There's a 1995 D Washington quarter out there, hiding in plain sight, and it could be worth a jaw-dropping $492,000. That's right, $492K for a coin most of us flip into a vending machine without thinking twice. Stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable, how you can spot one, and how a buddy of mine almost threw one away at a car wash. This could be the most profitable 10 minutes of your week, or in this case, 50. Let's dig into the treasure trove of information and maybe, just maybe, change your luck forever. Do I alright? Let's rewind to 1995. The Fresh Prince was on TV, everyone was trying to keep their Tamagotchis alive, and nobody, and I mean nobody, was thinking about Washington quarters. The Denver Mint pumped out millions of them that year. Some of them came out not so normal. And that's where the big bucks come in. And now, before you go flipping your couch cushions inside out, here's what makes the 1995 D quarter so special. What's the deal with the 1995 D? So, the D Mint mark means it was made in Denver. In 1995, the Denver Mint struck over 1.1 billion quarters. Yeah, billion with a B. That's like every person in North America owning 3 of them. But out of all those coins, a tiny number had a minting error that makes collectors go absolutely nuts. These rare beauties often have one or more of the following features: a double diaburse. That's when the front of the coin, where George Washington's stern face is, shows some doubling in the lettering or the date. Think of it like a double exposure on a photo. You'll especially want to look closely at "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty." Off-center strikes. If the image on the coin isn't aligned properly and looks like it was printed by someone who hadn't had their coffee yet, that's a good thing. Cha-ching, full strike with pristine surfaces. Coins that look like they were born yesterday, with no scratches, dents, or gunk on them, are worth way more. We're talking mint state condition, baby. High grading by PCGS or NGC. You find a 1995 D in near perfect shape, and it gets graded MS68 or higher by a pro grading service? That's where the money comes in. The one that hit $492,000? You guessed it, graded super high and likely had some rare features. The day my buddy almost power washed $500,000. Now here's a story for you. My buddy Tim, let's just say he's not exactly known for his attention to detail. One day, we're at this sketchy self-service car wash, scrubbing years of fast food history off his truck. He reaches into his cup holder to grab quarters for the sprayer, and one of them catches my eye. It looked brand spankin' new, had a shine that could blind an eagle, and it had that 1995 D Mint mark. So I say, "Hey man, let me see that quarter." He goes, "What, this thing?" It's just change. I practically tackle him. We look at the coin, and sure enough, the lettering was a little funky. I'm not saying it was the $492,000 coin, but it had some promise. He still ended up using it to wash his muddy tires. I almost cried. The moral of the story? Always check your change before you start pressure washing your dreams away. What should you be looking for? Alright, let's go treasure hunting. Here's your checklist. Pull out every 1995D quarter you have. Grab a magnifying glass or a cheap loupe from Amazon. Look closely at the date and the words "In God We Trust in Liberty." You're in business. .99 is the image off center? Cool, don't toss it, that's cash. Finally, if you think you've got something special, don't take it to your cousin Larry who collects comic books. Send it to a pro grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you exactly what you've got and what it's worth. Current market value breakdown. Let's talk numbers. Not every 1995D is worth a luxury yacht, but some are worth hundreds or even thousands. Common worn 1995D? Worth exactly 25 cents. Double die or error coin in good shape? $100 to $1,000 depending on condition. Now we're talking $5,000 to $50,000. Top of the line, museum level condition with rare features? That's your $492,000 payday. These coins are like winning scratch-offs hiding in your change jar. You just have to know what to look for. So, there you have it. That 1995D Washington quarter could be your ticket to a six-figure windfall. While most people keep chucking them into vending machines for sad trail mix or expired soda, you'll be the one cashing in. Look, you don't need a metal detector or a pirate's map. You just need a keen eye, a little knowledge, and a willingness to check your change like a coin hunting ninja. Don't be like Tim. Don't power wash your way out of a payday. If you found this video helpful, funny, or even just mildly entertaining while you avoided folding laundry, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that are worth crazy money and how you can find them in everyday life. Smash that like button like it owes you quarters, drop a comment if you've ever found a weird coin, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Your next big discovery could be one pocket away. Hey folks, grab your coffee, kick back, and get ready because today we are diving into the kind of story that could change your life, literally. We're talking about a coin that's probably been through a vending machine, a pocket full of lint, and maybe even that mystery crack in your couch cushions. That's right, we're talking about the 1998D Washington $quarter coin, and one of these little silver-colored beauties is currently worth $932,000. Yeah, you heard that right. Not $9. Not 900. 932,000 big ones. And now, before you go flipping over your couch or checking the floor of your pickup truck, let's walk through what makes this coin so darn valuable. Because let me tell ya, it ain't just any 1998 quarter that'll get you that kind of payday. You gotta know what to look for, why it's special, and how not to accidentally spend it on a bag of gas station beef jerky. And if you stick with me, I'll even tell you a story about how I once thought I found a rare coin and ended up getting laughed out of a pawn shop. So yeah, we're keeping it real today. Let's roll. Alright, so let's start with the basics. In 1998, the Denver Mint struck a boatload of quarters, over 800 million of them, to be exact. That's a quarter for just about every man, woman, and teenager playing Game Boy that year. So what makes one single 1998D quarter worth nearly $1 million? Well, it all comes down to errors, condition, rarity, and good old-fashioned collector frenzy. Let's break it down. The 1998D quarter that's worth the big bucks isn't just any quarter that came off the line. The one pulling in that jaw-dropping value has something called a double die error. Yep, that means it was struck more than once, and not in a good way. Think of it like your coin having a ghost, two sets of letters, slightly offset. It's the minting version of a glitch in the matrix. These errors can happen during the minting process, and while they're rare, when they do happen, coin collectors go bananas. It's like finding a typo in a $100 bill. Suddenly, it's no longer just currency, it's a collectible. And now, let's add to that a perfect MS-67 grade. That's Mint State 67, which is coin collector lingo for nearly flawless. No scratches, no nicks, and it looks like it just popped out of the mint yesterday. That's like finding a 1998 Camaro that's never seen a single pothole. Combine that ultra-rare error with pristine condition, and baby, you got yourself a coin worth $932,000. Now here's the $1 million question, or should I say, $932,000 question. What exactly should you look for? Start with the mint mark. You want that little D on the right side of Washington's ponytail. That tells you it was minted in Denver. And next, check for doubling, especially on the word Liberty and In God We Trust. It might look like the letters have a little shadow or blur to them. That's the double die effect. If it looks like George Washington's been hitting the margaritas and his words are seeing double, you might be onto something. Then flip it over and check the eagle on the back. Some rare varieties have issues with the feathers being less defined or even errors in the design alignment, and don't forget about condition. If it's got more scratches than your uncle's '92 Ford Ranger, it's probably not going to cut it. Great question. You don't just walk into a grocery store and say, "Hey, give me a car for this quarter." You need to get it professionally graded. Look up PCGS or NGC. These are professional grading services that will authenticate your coin. And yeah, they charge a little fee, but considering you could walk away with nearly $1 million, it's probably worth skipping a few Starbucks runs after it's graded. You can sell it through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers, or even list it online with verified coin collectors. Now let me tell you a quick story. So a couple years back, I'm at this flea market, the kind where they sell everything from old tools to bootleg DVDs and questionable hot dogs. I see this old coin jar on a dusty table. $5 for the whole jar. My heart starts pounding. I start imagining headlines like "Local man buys jar of coins, finds fortune." I rush home, get out my magnifying glass, and I swear I saw doubling on a 1995 quarter. I'm pacing around the kitchen, yelling "We're rich," like I'm on some kind of low-budget game show. Took it to a local coin dealer all puffed up with pride. Guy takes one look and goes, "Buddy, that's ketchup. You've got ketchup on your quarter." Turns out I'd spilled a hot dog on it. Not a double die, just double mustard. Yeah, humbling, but hey, that's how it goes in the coin game. Sometimes you hit gold, sometimes you hit condiments. The important thing is to keep looking, that not all quarters are created equal. That a 1998 D quarter with a double die error in mint condition could be worth $932,000. That your couch cushions might be hiding more than just pocket lint. And that you should always clean your coins before you declare yourself a millionaire. If you've got a coin jar sitting around, or maybe that old drawer you haven't opened since Clinton was president, it's time to do some digging. And if you want more coin hunting tips, tricks to spot valuable errors, and stories from the trenches of coin collecting that'll make you laugh and maybe even help you get rich, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like. Tap the bell. And join our community of everyday folks turning spare change into serious cash, because the next video might be about a coin sitting in your change tray right now.